Hi guys, what are we gonna do today? Now that it's getting hotter, we all need some fanfare. We are gonna make some fun fans using different types of paper, and I'm gonna show you how I finish these off. Let's get started. So here's the template I'm gonna use for the fan. If you have larger cardstock, you could enlarge this. I wanted this template to fit on an 8.5 by 11, so this is how big it is. I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to adhere it to a heavy piece of heavy chipboard. So the reason I am putting on the white cardstock and then on the chipboard is because I'm going to put a decoupage paper over this. And I want a white background so it really shows through. If I was using a heavier weight paper, I probably wouldn't have to do this, but it's just one extra thick, nice layer for your fan. So I'm just going to use a decoupage medium, and you can use whatever type of medium you like using best for decoupage. This one is not as thin as a Mod Podge, but not as thick as a matte gel. It's more of a softer gel medium. So you can see this is going to curl. It's just a tad bit. Now I am going to cut this chipboard out. So I'm going to use my recycled paper, and this is the Cowgirl blocks. I've already done one up, and I think I would like to do another up in this, so it's kind of fun. I could probably get 5 or 6 out of this, so I think this is really kind of fun. I don't want to cut through the blocks, so I'm just going to cut this out and piece a little bit on the edges. So I'm going to decoupage it on and then see what I need to add onto the sides. So I'm doing this on the white side so that my decoupage paper will be nice and bright coming through here. Move it all the way over to one edge, so I just have one edge to work with. I'm just using this piece of plastic to get some of these wrinkles out. So I'm just piecing some of these in to finish off this edge, and I think this is what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to put another little coat of decoupage sealer over the top. We're going to let this dry. Then I am going to sand my edges of excess paper. So I'm just going to sand the edges with this sanding block and get the excess off. So I'm going to use my Vintage Photo Distressing ink and go around the edges. So I'm using my Pentart Fine Line Crackle, and you have 2 parts. This is component 1. I like synthetic brushes like this, and you want to make sure your brush is dry and it is not wet. And you're going to put a nice coat of this over this, and you need to work not real quickly, but quickly enough that it doesn't start getting gummy and gooey while you're finishing to layer it. You don't want to overwork this. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry, and then we're going to put our second coat on. This is completely dry, and then now I'm going to get a new brush that is also dry, and I'm using a synthetic brush again, and I'm going to use the part 2, and I am just going to put this over the top. You want to make sure this is completely dry before you put this second coat on. And you also don't want to overwork this. So I'm just going to let this set and dry, and we'll see the beautiful crackles come through. You want to make sure you wash your brushes right away after you've used your products also. So it's probably hard to tell, but there are a lot of crackles in this. So as soon as I get my dark wax on, you're going to be able to see them. So I'm just using my DIY dark wax, And I am going to put this on. So I'm just going to let this set in here for a minute. And then I am going to rub all the excess off. Okay, so I've let this set just like a couple minutes, and I'm going to try to start wiping back, and let's see what we've got. Now, if you feel like you've wiped too much back, you can always add just a little more of this black wax in and rub back again. So the last two things we're gonna do is I'm gonna put a spray sealer over this, and then I'm going to glue my stick on the back. So this stick is actually from a slat from Shutters I had. But you could use any type of a stick you would like, something you can hold on to well, and you want it long enough that you can glue it to the back of this. Now, with this, you could either wax the back, or you could just paint it after you get your stick, whatever you would like to do, or just leave it the way it is. I'm going to glue this on, and then I'm going to use a spray sealer over the top. For this, I'm just going to use hot glue because it's on a chipboard, so that is almost the best glue I could use for this to adhere this. So for the sealer over this crackle medium, you really want to use a sealer that is not water-based, or your crackle will become very, very gummy and sticky. So to make it easy, I'm just using this Rust-Oleum clear coat. So that's what I sprayed it with. And the back, I just used my dark wax that was on my brush and coated the back and sprayed that too. Now we have a really cute fan. So I used the hot glue to glue this on, but you could try other glues. You could make little holes and attach it to the back. The hot glue I found was the easiest. Double stick tape, because this is such a heavy board, and if it starts to come up at all, it's not gonna wanna hold it. So the hot glue really, really worked well for this. You can try different types of paper, whether it's decoupage paper, wrapping paper, napkins, or even like my Monoham papers that are a little heavier weight. Or you literally could just paint and stamp. Wasn't that fun and easy? You don't have to do the crackle. You could just do it in 100 different ways, but I hope this has given you some ideas that you could do a whole bunch of fans yourself, and you would have them ready for your next event. Or even when you're sitting on your back porch having a nice glass of lemonade, you might need a fan just to cool you off. Hope you guys give this a try. Whatever you do, have fun.